Hey there everybody. So this is not going to be a face video because I don't have more than one camera, and because I kind of just want the footage here on Fan House to be a little more authentic and a little less produced. What I am doing today is I am prepping veg for the meat that I made on Monday, even though today is Saturday. I actually have, between eating dinner at my parents' house or forgetting to pack the meat and then eating from Wawa at work, still have a good bit of that left. And one day though, I did take the turkey and I just took a couple of leaves of the kale, and I'm going to go over to the sink and rinse while I talk. Because there is, and the light in here is terrible, but there's dirt in the kale, so it grows in sandy soil. But one thing that I did was I took a couple of leaves of kale and just smushed them into a container, and then that's just really woody stem and stalk, and it's not going to taste good, so we're not going to eat it. It's not going to work for what how I'm preparing this. But I right in there. There we go. Sorry, there was like I don't know if it was a bug or a weird like piece of dirt, but nope. We have enough kale. We're totally fine. So, I took a few leaves of the kale and scrunched them down into the Tupperware, and then I scrunched them down to the Tupperware, and then I just put the ground turkey with the cumin powder on top of it, and that worked out really well. In terms of when I heated up the turkey, the juice from the turkey, and the heat from microwaving the turkey for like a minute, 10 seconds, it worked out. It did good stuff. I ended up with some slightly steamed kale that was pretty tasty. This broccoli is a couple weeks old. Well, that's not a couple weeks old. It's about a week. So a week and a few days. So we're just gonna see, waste not, want not, and we're gonna salvage and go through all that. And they sent me such a little amount of broccoli. I'm gonna put away the baking sheet that I have out. And I am, because I'm not gonna use these stalks, although I might actually save the stalks and rinse them off really good and save them to do stock because it is soup season. But I think I'm gonna I'm gonna put away the cookie sheet. I have the baking sheet out behind me. This bad boy. That's way too big. I'm just gonna take a little cake pan and cook that in there instead, because that's what will fit. I'm just gonna use a little circular cake pan for that. So, anywho, have missed everybody. I'm definitely working on being more consistent with my content. I am actually going to do what I said I was going to do, and I'm going to keep those stocks for stocks, STALKS, for stock, STOCK. So be right back. Gonna rinse these and come right back to it. I will actually talk to you guys while I do that. The sink is very like grainy and gross because of washing out all the kale. And full disclosure, there's another bunch of kale in the fridge, because I guess I bought that much. But we have this mixing bowl, which is 4.5 quarts, and it's kind of full, and I need room to move that around. How did I have that? Oh, there. Anywho, I need the room. I need the room to mix it, because what we're doing with the kale is we're massaging it, which is exactly as it sounds. We're gonna rub it, and I'm gonna add some ingredients to it and rub it, and it is going to be very tasty, and it'll actually be like it cooked, but you're gonna preserve all the nutrients because you didn't cook it. So I am not super crazy. Oh, that's a bad term to use. I'm not super jazzed about the leaves. They're just not my cup of tea. I don't like broccoli greens, so I'm gonna pinch those off. And it's not as firm as I would like, but it's not completely soft to the point of being mushy either. So still salvageable. It is a win when we can say that we cooked something in our fridge instead of composting it. While I'm going and keeping an eye on the time to make sure this video is not too large, I like to cook, but doing a cooking stream always seemed not possible because my kitchen is on the tiny side. So Fan House presents an opportunity that I didn't previously have, and I like that a lot. You know, it gives me a chance to kind of stretch my wings, try something new, do something different. I don't know if this is the right way to cut broccoli. It's the way I'm cutting the broccoli. I bought cheddar cheese and I have bread, and I might buy some tomatoes and make some tomato soup from scratch, or see if there's like a really good crock pot recipe, because it's really quick to just roast everything on a sheet pan and then blitz it in the blender. And that gets you a lot of good flavor because you get that all day taste because you roasted the vegetables without having to actually cook it all day. Because I don't have time like that, because teacher union activist person. I don't know. It feels very weird to call myself an activist, but people keep calling me an activist. And I'm like, oh shit, me? You're talking to me? You're talking about me? Surely you must be talking to and about somebody else, like not I. Because I'm just doing what I always do, which is saying shit that nobody else wants to say. Because if I don't say the shit that everybody is thinking, my brain won't shut up. So I am actually going to maybe post this in 2 parts because there's only so much cleaning broccoli that you can see. And hopefully my hand hasn't been blocking a lot of this shot. We'll see. I might bring in some other lights because I feel like there's a yellow tone. Got to clear some counter space to bring in lights, but we will see. And I will come back when we're massaging kale and prepping the broccoli. Okay, and we're back. So broccoli is all done, and the broccoli is kind of like just cut up into little florets, varying size. That's okay because some of it gets a little crispier than the rest of the pieces, and you have the little crispy bits, and then you have like firm bits because they're bigger, and it works. So what I'm going to do, part of moving into my own space is cooking and using things that I like to use without having to like justify it or worry about allergies or dislikes. So I actually don't have olive oil here. Let me check before I say that. Yeah, I don't have olive oil here. So I'm gonna use I like the taste and flavor that coconut oil kind of gives to different things. So okay. So I'm gonna do that. However, I had baby daddy over here earlier. He hung my TV, mounted my TV for me, and he is a cold-blooded dude, so he gets overheated very easily. So I turned the AC down, so my coconut oil is super solid. So I'm gonna actually kind of mash with a fork, or maybe I just will nuke. I'm probably gonna nuke it. What am I saying? I'm gonna nuke it for a little bit so it's liquid. Just to get it like literally 10 seconds. So that I can toss it with the broccoli and add some seasonings. I was gonna chop some garlic, but I have already put the cutting board in the sink. And no, I'll chop some garlic. I'll rinse the cutting board and pull it out of the sink. That'll be a thing that I do. Okay. Ooh, I also have potatoes. I need to cook those potatoes. I have sweet potatoes in there. So 10 seconds did not do a lot for this oil. Oh no, there it goes. So sorry about the noise. So we want a little bit more liquid. So another 10 seconds. I just don't want it to like start to cook. While I'm doing that, let me rinse off the cutting board. And while I was finishing breaking down the broccoli, I did not, in fact, okay, so there we go. That's a bit more liquid. And so we're just gonna let the solid bits. That's a good amount. I eyeball things. I don't measure. If you're looking for somebody who measures, you got the wrong one. As unfortunate as that is. So we have some garlic here, and I'm going to take about 4 cloves because garlic is something that you measure with your heart. And this is just the skin. Put that in the compost pail. Put this garlic back away. And flatten it with the side of your knife. I feel like I'm casting shadows. I don't know. I will post this and y'all can tell me what you think. I smash it because it gets the chopping process started when I mince it. And also because it makes it really easy to get the paper off. But for the amount of broccoli that we have, There we go. Scoop that up. And we'll just cut off these little ends because they are hard and gnarly and nobody really needs them. So we'll just put them off to the side. And I'm not going to worry about composting those bits. Those bits can go in the garbage disposal. So just a nice, steady choppy chop chop. And I want garlic flavor in the kale as well, but I'm not going to put raw garlic into the kale because there's no heat going on to the kale. And so the massaging process is going to kind of break down the kale and tenderize it like it's been cooked, but it won't do that to the garlic. The garlic will still be just chunks of raw garlic, and that's not a good time for anybody unless that's your thing. It is not mine. So I'm going to put that in there. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of this cutting board so you can see more of the action. And yeah, so our coconut oil is all liquid now. So we're going to add some salt. And I just got this from Costco. Because it came with the grinder and it's hard to find a grinder for, you can get this, the chunks of pink salt readily anywhere, but finding a grinder specifically for it is like a pain in the ass. And it's hard, at least for me at the time when I was looking, to find ground pink Himalayan salt. So, and I do not use, that's probably enough salt. We're going to leave this out though, because we're going to use it for the kale. I just use pink Himalayan pink salt because I like the taste, not necessarily because I'm looking for any specific health properties. I just like the way it tastes. We're going to add some pepper. And this is again, because I just didn't want to buy the ground and I don't have a lot of counter space. So like at my mom's house, she has black pepper ground and she buys it ground and she has like a little pot that she fills up and she just like pinches out of the pot. I just have this on the finest grind because it's easier to store this way for my kitchen size. So a decent amount of pepper because we want it to be seasoned. And to be completely honest, if I don't eat this tonight, I probably won't get any because Gremlin comes home tomorrow and Gremlin will eat it all. We're going to put this here. I normally just toss it with my hands, but for the sake of, I already have it dirty because my oil is solid, I'm going to use that to toss the broccoli. And we're going to drizzle on the oil. And we're just going to make sure everything gets coated. Definitely be sure not to flip the broccoli out. We're going to put that in the compost bin because I need to sweep my floor. Just tracking, the grass has been cut recently, so there's like loose stuff tracked in everywhere. I need to sweep. All right, so spread this out in an even layer. Sweep off way more coconut oil than you thought. Dab that on a piece of broccoli. I'm going to set the oven to 400. And we're going to put this in while it's preheating. And then like 5 minutes after it reaches 400, it should be good to go. But we'll check it after it reaches 400. And well, 5 minutes after it reaches temp. And just check and see if it's golden enough and go from there. All right, so massaged kale. This was really big like several years ago. Definitely an old trend, but I like it, so I have continued to do it when I'm able to, because my mother didn't like kale and my father doesn't like kale, and my ex-husband wasn't crazy about kale, and my kid decided she wasn't, and so I was the only one who would eat it. And it's a bit of a labor-intensive process to make only a small batch for yourself. So I would make too much and then not eat it, and it just. But now this is what's at my house, and hey, these are the vegetables that you have, and she does like it. She just, yeah. All right, so there are grind. Let me pull this into focus. Hold on. It's very blown out. I'm trying to get it so that you can see it. Okay, there's dots on here of varying sizes for me to adjust the grind size. I'm going to put it on the biggest one because I want those salt crystals to tear into these leaves and to tear into this and break down these cell walls. So we are going to add a good measure of salt, more than you think you would need, because we're going to strain off some of the liquid that comes off of this. The salt acts like an abrasive and breaks down the cell walls of the kale, kind of like you would see when you cook it. And then the lemon juice is also going to aid that process. And this is just lemon juice because I'm too lazy to juice lemons, and because lemons would rot sitting around here waiting for me. But I can buy this, open it, refrigerate it, use it by the 22nd of June 2022. Yep, just refrigerate it and it's there. I have used their lime juice for years, and then I realized they have, it's Santa Cruz organic. I've used their lime juice for years, and then I realized they had lemon juice, and I was like, oh, because I don't like the taste of other brands of lemon juice. I feel like they kind of taste artificial, but this tastes like real lemon juice, and it is real lemon juice, and it's good. So a healthy pour. That's probably a smidge too much, but that's okay. We will make the best of it. What is in this container? Sorry, I'm trying to investigate what's in a container. Oh, fried chicken. I don't know where that's from. I'm gonna have to ask my mother when's the last time she ordered fried chicken. So, anywho, so then we're just gonna literally scrunch and turn, scrunch and turn. And you're literally just treating it like you're kneading dough. You want to get the salt all the way through. You want to get the lemon juice all the way through. And you just want to keep this up. And it's going to seem like a lot. When you cut your kale for this, and I should have gone over this before, I normally don't use the curly kale. I normally get the regular kale, but this is what you get when you order your groceries for pickup and you don't go into the grocery store. And like, what is this? A 1/2 inch wide strips. You don't want it too small because you want the lemon juice and the salt to have something to break down. Like, as you go, stalks get soft, the leaves get soft. Wear gloves if you have a hangnail like I do, because fuck me, that's my finger and it stings now. But you are literally just massaging it, and if you look, that lemon juice has like this pretty green color to it. Or maybe it's not pretty, it's pretty to me. But that's also, when you cook things down, you lose a little bit of your color. And that's what's happening here. As you're tearing down those cell walls, you're losing some of that chlorophyll and you're losing some of your color. But as you can see, this is significantly reduced in volume. And it's going to keep doing that the more we tenderize it and massage it and get it to cook down. I might start a timer and tell you how long this took, except I've been doing this for about maybe 2 minutes now, and I'm not sure, and I don't want to be inaccurate, but okay, I can watch the clock. So however long I've been doing this now, check the time on the video. I'm going to do this for 5 more minutes and then just chew a piece and see if I like the texture of it and go from there. And when it gets to a little bit closer to where I want it to be in texture, I'm going to add in some garlic powder, because like I said, and some pepper. Because like I said before, I do want that garlic taste in there, but raw garlic doesn't work here. You need like a garlic powder, or a granulated garlic, because nothing says nope like raw garlic. I know I said 5 minutes, but I'm hungry. I had breakfast at Wawa, because I picked up Baby Daddy and Gremlin from the car dealership, and we went to Wawa to put gas in my car and to get breakfast for everybody. And then I came home and we spent all day trying to hang a TV, and finally got it hung up right when they called saying his car was done at like 2. And then I DoorDashed from 3 to 6. So I haven't eaten since like 9 o'clock this morning, I guess is what I'm trying to say, which is why I tasted that before the 5 minutes that I said I was going to do, because I'm hungry. I have leftover spaghetti carbonara from my friend's wedding reception yesterday, and I have curry turkey breast, and I have steak, and I might just like cut off of one of the steaks and get it going and see how I do. Honestly, I thought I had put enough salt, but I'm tasting that I might want to add some more salt. But like, it's way, way, way reduced. And there's a puddle of liquid in there, and we're mashing it into the liquid and just kind of seeing what comes of it. So far we've been going at this for, and I can feel some of these stalks scrunching under my knuckles. We've been at this 3 minutes now. Like I said, it's a laborious process and you don't end up with a ton. So, you know, to put in this much work and not end up with a lot because the volume loss, it kind of, I don't know. I got really discouraged. Cooking when I lived with my mother. Ooh, that's 400. Still woody. I got really discouraged cooking living with my mom because she would do stuff like say, hey, can you make dinner tonight? And I say, sure. And I would go out and buy ingredients, or I would take out something to thaw and I'd cook it. And it would be, well, I figured you would have done this with it. Or I assumed you would have done this with it. And I'm like, and that's what you wanted to eat. Why didn't you just say so? Or she would take out pork chops and she'd be like, hey, can you cook these for me? And I'd be like, sure. And she'd be like, oh, I figured you would have like done them in the oven when I had smothered them. Or something similar. And it just got tiring, and so I just stopped cooking. And I was like, no, I can't cook. I'm not going to be home. Or I can't cook. I'm tired. Or, you know, whatever the excuse du jour was. But now I can cook food the way I want to, and nobody second guesses me. Gremlin will call my card, pull my card. That's the expression. My bad. Gremlin will check my ass, but like I try to serve something that she likes alongside something I like. Like the kale is for me, the broccoli, honestly, because I got so little in my grocery order last week, I'm probably just gonna leave for her. Okay, so 5 minutes. The stalks are still a little woody. We essentially need more salt. I'm going to brush my hands off kind of carefully so that I retain as much of my kale and I don't wash bits of my kale down the sink when I rinse my hands off. So I'm going to rinse my hands off before I put like lemony salty hands in my cabinet to touch my salt because I put my salt away. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I have a gnarly hangnail. I don't know if you can tell. No, you can't. It's like right there. You can't tell. I have to figure out how to readjust shit. We need more salt. And we're going to leave it on the big setting. We don't need any more lemon juice because it is plenty lemony. I'm going to use my left hand because I just remembered the hangnail that I was telling you about on the other hand. And if you look at it, I'll make sure my watch is not hanging in there. We've lost so much volume, and this is going to go in a Pyrex container and go in the fridge, but it's good. And, making sure we get all the bits back in the bowl. Obviously, if you are cooking for If you were cooking for people other than folks you are family with, maybe don't eat out of the bowl, but I'm cooking for myself and somebody I made, so yeah. She takes food out of my mouth and puts it in her mouth. She's fine. All right, and garlic powder. And I'm gonna get a fork. I think I'm actually gonna get the serving fork so that I have the eating fork for later. And I'm gonna look at this bowl and eyeball it to make sure I get the right Pyrex container out. Or something weird on the side of that fork. Alright, so I'm gonna get a Pyrex container down. I like Pyrex because they are glass and sustainable and not plastic. Just because I feel guilty when I use plastic. And I know I could have avoided it. So, as it sits, because since I washed it, I'm gonna pour the lemon juice in there and actually keep it in there and let it continue to work on it. But I might drain it off later. And if you look, it's got like a lemony, garlicky tang to it. And I smell the coconut oil off of the broccoli, so we're going to check that in a second. And then we're just going to pop it in the fridge. So that's taken care of. And we're going to put everything in the sink. And we're going to check in the oven right now. And take this oven mitt here. And pull that out and see what's what. Garlic's brown on the edges. Let's take a small bit and see. Yep. So, that is the kale and the broccoli to go with my steak and curried turkey breast. There you have it. Thanks for hanging out in the kitchen with me. Tell me if you like this kind of content, if you hate it. Actually, if you hate it, don't tell me. just mosey along. Don't tell me, because I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit. And yeah, hopefully I'll be doing more crock pot stuff, more soups, because it's fall.